Okay, so originally, this was going to have a video of another playthrough in the background. It was going to show all the information of each character and such, but guess what I found out after I did the audio recording? This game only lets you play it once. What genius thought of that idea? Yes, in real life you only get one chance, but I'm going to emphasize this several times over this little bit of audio. I'm playing a video game. Let me play the game until I decide I'm done with it, whether that's an insultingly short amount of time or a concerningly long amount of time. Anyways, keep on listening if you want to hear my random thoughts about the game before I made this little discovery. Hello everyone. So, I'm making this video for a few reasons. 1. Testing the audio for my videos. The last video was so extremely quiet when I listened to it after it was uploaded, and I could have sworn it sounded fine when I was setting it up. Turns out it didn't. It's like I have some kind of ear blindness unless I'm actively listening to it afterwards. 2. I couldn't just think of the title of this video and then not use it. If I come across another game I want to say more words about, then I might keep using the title of Second Thoughts. And additionally, 3. I can play through the game again and actually read each character's file and put that up as the video behind all my rambling. So, I really enjoy a good story in a video game. I don't want to put the game down too much, but it's not like it was asking a lot from me money-wise, and that's a positive point for it. But one of the low points for it, that would have added some replayability, is if there would have been an epilogue for each character if they were a survivor. And so this game let me have my second thoughts on each character. What about my third thoughts? Was each person who had a good reason actually still a good person? Could there have been any Twilight Zone type twist with any of them? Were any of them aliens? How are we to know? And so the main second thoughts I had about the game though, who am I? How did I end up here? It doesn't feel like I'm the one in charge here, so who brought me here? Was it willingly? Am I being coerced? So, I want to start with the ending here, because really, there isn't one. You know who it was that survives, but that's it. Heck, with the information we're given, we don't actually know if there's actually people that we're affecting. All you're told is that this is some kind of experiment. But I want to work with the assumption that these were people, and we affected life and death here. We are given no epilogue or ending card to tell us if we made the good choices that we wanted to or not. How am I supposed to know if I truly let out the person who is the worst possible choice for society? So I didn't like it as a video game ending. The ending's just that I'm given a life lesson, and I'm told exactly what that lesson is. Make sure you think twice before you judge a person. When I'm playing a game, I'm not trying to learn a life lesson. I'm trying to live a life that isn't mine. Sometimes in games I'll be the perfect hero of justice, but there are times you just want to be unhinged and make very morally questionable decisions that you wouldn't make in another setting. Also, in video games, there's a bit of reverse psychology at play. So normally when I play games, my brain is set to the follow rules mode. I'm not going to think outside the box. I'm going to use the bare minimal essentials that I have and any instructions that are given to me. But there are other times when I want to know what happens if I do anything except what I'm told to do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Which is what happened in my initial playthrough if you saw it. I wanted to try to let the person survive that seemed like the choice the game wouldn't want me to make. So, naturally, in the game I chose the person who was guilty of murder and attempted murder. This person turned out to be guilty of murdering the abuser who was keeping them trapped. So you know, it's just morally justifiable murder. At the end of the game, though, it feeds you the lesson. Think twice before you judge people. You don't know what they've been through. Again, I'm not playing the game to learn a life lesson. I'm playing the game to play in the sandbox that the person made for the player. If it would have only ended with, "Do you feel you made the right choice?" I wouldn't be as annoyed. But I'd still be annoyed. Because I don't know. There's no way for me to know. Do I actually know enough about the person I let live? What if the situation that we put them in was enough to make a good person lose their sanity? Is that still a winning situation for them? I have no information about them. I don't even have proof that the last person is actually allowed to leave whatever place this is alive. Were they given food throughout the time that they were kept here? I can't imagine that they had a pleasant living situation here. Whatever group or person made this experiment has captured 16 people, 17 if you include me, and we're not even certain if you should. We don't know if I was captured or if I'm willingly a participant. And now they're just being killed off one by one. Why? To teach me a lesson about judging people by what I know about them? Well, that can't be it. As I'm writing this out, I'm just getting more questions in my head here. I'm going to refer to this unknown as a person in the royal sense here. So they captured 17 people. It couldn't have just been random, right? They have way too much knowledge about all of them. They know all the crimes they've committed, the truth and reason behind each crime. Everything these people had hidden, this person somehow still knows. It has to be something personal for them, right? This only further makes me think that as a lucky number 17, I'm just a random person that they picked up off the street. Possibly a deep personal grudge against each person for reasons unknown. But their own conscience can't in good faith just kill them all, so they decide to give that option to me. If I'm the one choosing who dies, then that takes away the burden of guilt to this person. They don't have a choice. I did the choosing. I made the choice. I gave the order of death, so they can kill them all off guilt-free. Maybe they'll see themselves as another victim. And upon reflection, do I actually think that that's what's happening? No. This person refers to all of this as an experiment. They thank me for taking part in it, and presumably, they'll send me on my way afterwards. That's another thing that we're not clear on. What happens to me at the end? Am I allowed to live? Am I going to be arrested for the part that I've played in this? Where even are we? We could be in the middle of the Nevada desert for all we know. Anyways, the important part of any experiment is data. So it isn't necessarily about grudges, who lives and who dies. This was all just an experiment to see if feeding information in a certain order will affect the end result. You show the information that can shed the worst light on a person before you can see them at their best. And that's basically just my rambling thoughts on the game, and I really do mean rambling. This was very much just me writing down a script of my own stream of consciousness than it was of me giving any kind of actual review. In fact, I didn't even really mention anything about the gameplay itself, did I? I'm just assuming that you watched my previous video and already know what the game was and what I did. So if you didn't, I'm sorry that I left you at a loss here. This was very much just throwing my general thoughts about this game out into the void of the internet. I didn't think the game was bad. I didn't think it was great. But in the end, it gave me entertainment, and that's all I ask of it. And so, I doubt that I talk anywhere near long enough for the gameplay through the finish in the background. So once I finish with my rambling here, I'll just let that play out for anyone interested, and I'm just going to stay quiet over that. And so, if you want to read the rest of the reports of the characters, find out who you would have chosen after you have all the information, go ahead. And I don't know if I'm going to do another one of these, but maybe I'm going to have some more second thoughts on another game. And as I'm recording this, I'm just realizing something, that I have a fantastic coincidence for the word second thoughts as this, because I can't quite say that this is... Alright, hold on. Okay, so I mean second, as in that second, as in a moment of time, because that feels very much like what all my thoughts are that I just garbled out, was the thoughts that I had in those exact seconds. Because it's not very... Even though I wrote this down, I didn't really put any order or framework into any of this. This is just me spilling out words as my brain decides to create them. So that just makes me even more determined to continue to use this second thoughts as what I'm going to do if I ever need to talk about another game like this. So that it's my thoughts within that second. Not just my second thoughts as in twice. Not as in second as in a piece of time. My second thoughts. And I absolutely love that idea, so I'm going to keep using that. Anyways, until the next video I make, just remember, every moment of time you spend with me is an amateur hour. Whether you spend only a world's minute, a half hour, or 2 hours, it all amounts to an amateur's hour. That might finally be the closing that I'll stick with, hopefully. We'll see if I come up with something I like more. Anyways. See ya.